Do you see Banana Man hopping over on the white hot sand? Here he come with some for me, freshly taken from banana tree. Banana Man may want a ton. Give me double and a bonus one. Give me more for all my friends. This banana flow will never end. Do you want a banana? Peel it down and go. Do you want a banana? This banana for you. Tonight we dance around the flame, and we get to play the spirit games. Spirit names we shout out loud. Shake the thunder from the spirit cloud. All the songbirds in the tree chant a tune to let the spirits free. Then we see them in the night, spirits jumping by the firelight. Do you want the banana? Banana. Peel it down and go. Do you want a banana? This banana for you. Look, you're too uptight, you know. You can laugh and kick it back and go wee, but without a rhythm or a rhyme, you do not banana all the time. Fly away from city on the run. Try to make a little fun. Look, you come to the bungalow. African, you tell me, told you so. Don't you love the bumping? All the drum make you shake your bum until the bum go numb. Let the bongo play you till you drop. This banana never stop. Forget all your troubles and go with the flow. Forget about whatever you may never know. Like whatever you're doing is whatever you should. And whether anything you ever do is anything good. Then forget about banana when it's sick in your throat. And when they make you wanna bellow but you're stuck in a choke. And then forget about the yellow from the beckoning man who make you take another one and make you mock all your plan. Hey, bungalow, bungalow, make up your mind and tell me no. Bungalow, bungalow, make up your mind and tell me no. Well, it's 9 o'clock and it's getting dark, and the sun is falling from the sky. I've never left so early, and you may wonder why. Tomorrow morning on the plane, no banana make you go insane. Floating back to busy town, no banana make you wanna frown. Do you want a banana? Peel it down and go. Do you want a banana? This banana for you. Welcome everyone. Let me quickly see which things I disabled here due to our last streams. There we go. The overlay is back. I think that should be it. There we have the overlay. Welcoming everyone on this wonderful Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. It is Wednesday, January the 1st. And we are officially starting into the new year together. How is everyone doing? Let me quickly go through chat. First of all, let me say thank you. Before we even went live, and before I even was ready to join you, I saw that you guys kicked off a hype train. Thank you for all the support you even showed before the stream. Thank you to Ranaka for the 38 months. Lagna Loki is here for 23 months now with Prime. Taka with 48 months. And Yanni with 34 months. Thank you all so much for your continued support. You know how much I appreciate it. Mr. Barley, good to see you. Welcome in. Okay, I'm encountering a new issue with the mic positioning. And reading the chat. Wait. Let me quickly put the chat on a different side of the screen and we should be jolly good, actually. Alright, we put this here. We put the activity feed over there. We don't need that. Alright, now I can... I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. What the fuck? Stallion Man, welcome in. Good to see you. It is that time already. Thank you for the semi-lag. Enjoy whatever board game you're playing with, whoever you're playing it with. Happy New Year to you too, Lagna Loki. Yanni, same to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And Lagna Loki? God damn it. I gotta get used to the streaming thing again. Nolaikika, I wanted to say welcome in as well. Thanks for being here, Mom. Today is a very special stream, you all know that. We'll hang out for a bit. I'll be here for overall I think about 2 hours today. Maybe 2.5, we'll see about that. And yeah, I think we'll first play a little bit, you know. I get used to streaming for you again after a bit more than a week of a break, if I'm not mistaken. And after that, in about, I don't know, we'll see. I want to let people come in for a little bit, so let's take at least half an hour to an hour of playing some music together. And then after that, we'll do a thorough listen to the album. I don't know exactly how this will go. I think I'll just show you the cover again, talk a little bit again about how it came together, and then we'll listen to the tracks together. And if you have any questions to the pieces or anything, I'm here to answer them. Yeah, and then that's it. That's basically it. That's what we're here to do today. And I hope you're excited for it, as I am. Welcome in, Thistle says Happy New Year and album. Thank you so much. Even though I had to move it, originally we wanted to release it on December 29th. But even though I had to willingly, well, yes, willingly, but I had to move it due to some circumstances. I'm quite happy with the release date of like the 1st of 2025, you know, with this year being the year where this will either work out or it won't, or it will kind of. We'll see about it. And it's nice to start that off with some new music, right? Just so you know, the camera showing the whole room is still inactive. I'm still figuring out how to do that because I figured this camera here, actually, I enjoy much more when it shows, like when I use this camera for the fingers here. It has a bit of a more of a cinematic look compared to the phone that I used before. Yeah, I do have, finally, I have a phone my brother gave me with this amazing back piece that Rob especially will probably appreciate. But yeah, I haven't figured out yet exactly how I want it to be placed. Showing the room, maybe to place it in a way that it shows a bit more of the bookshelf in the background. We'll see about that. So we do have like this camera, and then this camera at the moment, and everything else will just, you know, be incorporated in the stream soon again. Also something that I will remind you now of, and that I will remind you of later again, towards the end of the stream. Starting in January now, we do have different streaming times. I think, adjusted the schedule on Twitch. I will also do this with the schedule on Instagram. Shouldn't forget that. And yeah, we'll be streaming probably either at 1 or 2 p.m. I'm still not 100% sure which one I want it to be, but probably 2 p.m. So probably from now on we'll be live here Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m. CET, so about 3 hours later than we did last year. And then we'll see how that goes, how many of you can join, if it is more convenient for you in general, or if it isn't, if it's more convenient for me, or if it isn't, how I feel with it. And then, yeah, who knows, maybe that will change a few things, we'll see. Welcome in, W20 Physik, and Stallyman, welcome back, says, beat Bixie 3-2 at Arumi Cup. Alright, way to go. And I guess Bixie will hear about this the rest of the evening, isn't that right? Oh, do you guys have a list over the year who wins the most? Oh, you're asking that, I just went into the winning thing. Super nice. So, let me know in the meantime, while we play a little bit of music and while we wait for people to flock in, let me know how you spent New Year's Eve, if you would like to share it, of course. What did you do? I know people from all different countries have different kinds of traditions. Some people follow those traditions, some don't. So I'd love to hear from how you started your new year. And in the meantime, we're playing a little bit of Ludovico Einaudi. What do you think? How else would we start into the new year? Thanks guys for being here. I'm excited to share the album with you later, and happy to read you in chat. It is not Monday. However, since it is the first thing we usually play at every Monday and every week, why not use this wonderful piece to start the year as well? Quite fitting, I think. I hope you enjoyed this one. And we have a few people in chat sharing how they spent New Year's Eve. Let's see. Stellingman says, at home, watching some TV, played some Farming Simulator 25. Nice. Imagine with a family, right? Not like that you spent New Year's Eve with them in general, that I assumed, but I'm talking about the Farming Sim thing. Thank you so much, Turka, for managing the song list. We're starting the year off, and the first thing I can't even add into the song list myself. I swear I'll be better. Let me open the song list, just so I can at least try sometimes to take off some of your workload. Happy New Year to you as well, Hot Blue. Welcome in chat. How are you doing? And if you want to, please let us know how you spent New Year's Eve. Loki said, at home with my parents, having a nice evening with raclette. Very, very, at least in Germany where I live, raclette and fondue, both of those are very typical things to do. Originally wanted to do that myself, but didn't work out. We forgot that supermarkets close a bit earlier. You know, I'm still not really arrived at, you know, a civilian's life, you could say. Normally, I was working around that time at Christmas. I think it was the first time New Year's Eve since 3 or 4 years, I think, that I spent New Year's Eve at home, actually. Huh. Doranica says, at home with my parents, having a... blah, 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 blah. Wait, I wasn't through with Loki's message. Give me a second. Some self-made eggnog, alcohol-free, making dough for a New Year's pretzel. Nice. Blake, we enjoyed today for breakfast. Nice. Do you do that every year, the New Year's pretzel thing? Is that a thing? That's the first time I hear of that, actually. Also spent New Year's Eve at home, says Doranica. I have Twitch open in the background, migrating stuff to my own mail service, and school decided to block access to my mailboxes at random. Oh. I hope everything went fine with that, and the migration went nicely. X, Happy New Year to you as well. Thanks for joining. Welcome in Eric Choco Baby. Thank you so much for joining us today. Right now I'm not doing requests, but thanks for your interest. We can do a little bit of that later. But the focus today is mostly, here we go, mainly on our new album release with some original music. Quite excited about that. Oh, from Spain. Oh God, am I in the right mood to actually try to speak Spain? Bienvenido, Eric. Yo parlo un poco de español también, pero no es suficiente para hacer una conversación normal. Pero bienvenido. Muchas gracias por seguirme. New York Pretzel was first for me this year, says Latin Loki. They were sold out everywhere. Oh, so usually you don't make them yourselves, but you do... you do play, oh god damn it, like my mind is not, I have to learn multitasking. The usual Turka, sorry about that. I'll try to talk a bit louder into the mic. We can also turn it up a bit. Or turn it a bit down, either way. So now it should be fine. We should be a bit louder. Lenoir, welcome in chat. Thank you so much. I'm excited about it. It's live on BANDCAMP so far. You didn't miss anything, Aurora, just a little bit of piano playing and the usual shenanigans. Okay, so what I wanted to say to you, Loki, is so normally you buy them, but this year you made them yourselves. Okay. Let's just getting one much tastier. So is that like a typical thing to have like New Year's pretzel? Where you live? Because that's the first I hear that actually. Happy to be here. Happy to have you, Auroria. Happy New Year to you. Maybe I have to find a way to, like, with one click, dim the piano a bit, and then come back up when I don't talk anymore. I mean, I can do that manually here. Maybe I should just do that. Just, you know, put in a little bit of effort and it actually works. But no, we don't want effort. We want everything to work beautifully by its own. Up on Melancholy Hill, there's a plastic tree. And are you here with me? Just looking out on the day of another dream. Of another dream. You can't get what you want, but you can get me. So let's head out to sea. 'Cause you are my medicine when you're close to me. And when you're close to me. So call in the submarine and round the world we go. Does anybody know? We're looking out on the day of another dream. Of another dream. what you want, then you come with me. And up a melancholy hill sits a manatee, just looking out for the day when you're close to me. And when you're close to me. That's a song that's stuck in my head every now and then lately. This was Melancholy Hill by Gorillaz. Alright, let's have another look in chat. Faratak, hey, good to see you. Happy New Year to you as well. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's normal to eat them or gift them around here. Ah, I see. Thanks for clearing that up. I learned something again, Loki. Thanks for the lurk, Yanni, by the way. And OXD, good to see you. Don't be shy, come in. Luz de Marfil, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us. Adrift, so what exactly is that word? I haven't heard it before. Alright, so Aurora Adrift is oh, did it trigger itself when you wrote Adrift? Interesting. We I don't know why I said that. We decided on Adrift, or I decided on Adrift. Since it's same as away, right? There's like these two meanings, and one of them, like adrift, maybe you've heard it in the context of like with a car, you know, like drifting with a car. In Mario Kart, maybe. That's the exact same word, basically. It's kind of a somehow controlled. You could say like maybe Schlittern, more or less in German, I guess. So somewhat of a controlled, a thing that you by decision do, right? You start to drift, for example, with a car to get around a corner. But in the end, drifting itself is not like what the car was made for, right? So it's kind of an uncontrolled movement that you try to nudge into the right direction to do what you wanted to do. Does that make any sense? And I like that meaning, kind of, you know, for how you can, for example, as well approach life. Just one decision at a time, and the rest is just, you know, drifting. The rest is just, you don't have control over that, but you can like maybe nudge it into the right direction every now and then. That's one thing. And the other thing, adrift, would be maybe like similar to floating. So you can be adrift means, you know, you drifted too far away and now you're adrift. So being in that state of like, kind of like floating away without any control over it, which is kind of another side of it. So the two words are a bit closer together compared to like away and away maybe, but I still like the kind of double meaning there. Yes, you could also, yeah, you could also use it that way, you know? Like if you're adrift on a journey, for example, you're kind of, you know, you took maybe the wrong way and you're kind of a little bit off track. Exactly. Thank you so much, Faratak, and also thanks for supporting me with the buy on BANDCAMP. With BANDCAMP, 100% of what you're able to give is coming my way. So thank you so much. I really hope you enjoy the music on that album. And yeah. So to talk a little bit about the album, Adrift, that we released earlier today at around 3 a.m. to be precise. It is slowly being rolled out to major platforms. So this differs with platform, obviously. It's not like with other musicians who upload their album 2 weeks before so they can terminate it going live on every single platform at the same time. No, we don't do that here. We are chaotic, right? We're not really planning anything ahead. So I uploaded it yesterday. That means in the next 1 or 2 days, it probably will arrive on iTunes and Apple. A few days later on Amazon, and someday, like in 4 to 5 days, it might be on Spotify as well. However, with the link that you can find in chat when you type in !Adrift or !new album, you get a link to a website where you can pre-save the album on Spotify if you'd like to. So you get a notification once it goes live there. And also, it is already live on BANDCAMP, as Faratag found, which is the best way to support my music if you also want to give a little bit at that occasion. The album is €7, I think, on BANDCAMP. You can give a little bit more if you choose to. And there's also a deal right now, basically, since we released the final album of the A series, right? There's 3 of them, Apart, Away, and Adrift, and they kind of built this trilogy. You can get all 3 now with like 25% off or something. So you can get all 3 for €12 if you haven't owned any of them before. You would like to have them on your, if you're still old school, on your MP3, you want to burn a CD with it, you know, I don't mind. It's not like it's illegal or anything, I don't care. Just get it, download it, and then you have it forever, you know? Yes, Aurora, yes. Abweg as in, like, taking a wrong turn, exactly. And Fisherlicious, dir ebenso. Vielen, vielen, vielen Dank. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for the kind wishes. Same goes to you and your loved ones. And thank you so much also for coming back in month number 11 with supporting us. Same Aurora, by the way. Thank you so much earlier for the 14 months that I just noticed. Appreciate that so much. So, Nini, hey, good to see you. Welcome in. Paratex says, I was so hyped as I got your message today that the album is out. I had to drive home from Berlin. Couldn't wait to get the album. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. It makes me very happy to hear that you were so excited about the album. It is a special album. Let's talk a little bit about, let's get the cover here. So this is the new album, Adrift. As I said, it's the 3rd in the series. We also talked a little bit about the title already. Now, the most special thing, or in general, a special thing about this album is that it was not recorded in one night like the first album, since all 3 of these albums consist of improvisations, right? I feel like I just feel most comfortable with improvising instead of like composing a set piece. I'd rather improvise and then write down the sheet music later, which I'm in the process of doing for this album. And the first and second album were improvised like that. Now, the 3rd album is also improvised. However, it was improvised over a way longer amount of time. See, on Ko-fi, we had a tier last year that has changed now because I can't manage it time-wise anymore. But back then, believe it or not, for every single person who was subscribed at that tier, I did record a specific improvisation each month. I thought not a lot of people would do this. And then about 4 or 5 people at the end did this. Which means every month I had to record 4, sometimes 5, in the beginning 2 or 3 improvisations that I just sent to them. That was the gimmick of this tier, to give them a little bit back and to give them something special just for them. I wasn't really able to record much else this year, because most of the time I just need a reason to do something, you know? And having this reason with my Ko-fi supporters helped me a lot to focus on this. Even though sometimes I was a whole month late with sending over and I sent 2 improvisations at once, stuff like that. People who have supported me know this. I eventually deliver, but sometimes it takes a little bit more time than I originally anticipated. And in the end, I was looking at that folder with all the monthly improvisation that I sent out to these people, and I noticed I have about 3.5 hours of original music lying around. I talked to my Ko-fi supporters, to my patrons, if they would be okay with me releasing them on an album. Originally, the deal was to have them just for them, right? Now I would do a selection and release them on an album, and that's what became Adrift. So every single piece on this album was recorded over the course of the last 1.5 years. So I think the oldest piece on there I recorded in, originally recorded in September 2023. So something around that, maybe also October 2023. And the last piece on this album was, I believe, recorded around, again, September or October 2024. So let's say over the course of 12 months, these were recorded, I think. Every single piece on this album, if you get it on BANDCAMP, you can find this in the lyrics and the credits of each piece. But those pieces were specifically sponsored, you could say, by 5 people that I want to thank a few times this stream probably, because they are the ones who made this possible, right? By kicking my ass into the right direction, basically, by making me record these pieces. These people are Mr. Size, who's probably, or maybe already lurking, he's always lurking, or maybe joining later. He's been a huge supporter of my work and my music and this project ever since he started coming to the living room, and I really appreciate that. Already met him in person as well. We were on a Danger Dan concert together, for example. Super cool. The second person was Frankie Simon, who's also streaming on Twitch as a pianist. He is an amazing pianist who does a lot of improvisation as well and does a lot of cover music. He's amazing beyond belief at playing music by ear, just listening to it once. He once listened to one of my originals and just improvised over it, and it was astonishingly accurate, I have to admit. So Frankie was one of these people. Xanav was one of those people, who's also frequently in chat. You probably know the name. Didn't have the pleasure yet to meet them in person, I believe. I'm not so sure anymore if we met like briefly once at a TwitchCon or something, but I don't think so. And then we had one more person. Oh, it was 4 people. Was it 4 people or 5 people? It was 4 people, why wasn't it? Miss Size, Frankie, Xanav. Yeah, it was 4 people. And one person wanted to remain anonymous, but still a huge thank you to that person as well for same there, continuing their support throughout this year and making me record 12 pieces for them, recording a whole album for them. So yeah, these pieces that are on this album, I chose out of all these pieces, I think around 45 or 50 pieces that I recorded over the 12-13 months. This is a selection that I made. It's not based on like my 13 definite most favorite pieces out of these recordings, but the ones that fit together, I think. And the clue or the twist at this is that except 2 titles and a few things where I had a little bit of input and we changed it a little bit and met in the middle, but in general, except 2 titles from the anonymous Kind Soul who delivered those, they told me I could choose the titles myself. Everyone else chose the titles to their improvisations. So, for example, if Mr. Size had 1 or 2 pieces that I chose out of my collection, and those were 2 pieces that I sent to him originally for supporting me in a specific month, they could choose the title for that album. So the funny thing is, 4 people in the end did contribute to naming the songs on this album. And in the end, the order of how these songs came together was quite funny, because it had nothing to do with the names, with the titles. But in the end, the arrangement that came together in the end, and that we had and that we chose to go for, even with the titles, kind of makes sense. And that was such a beautiful moment to see that happen, you know, to make click. You know, it's not like there's no super deep meaning, you know. I like the title, and then the people chose the titles, and it kind of created something new, you know. But like looking at it was like, okay, this feels like a coherent thing, you know what I mean? And that was just a nice extra. Yeah, so that's that. That's that. I'd say we don't waste that much more time, don't you think? Maybe we'll play 1 or 2 more pieces. I'm just in the mood right now. And after that, how about we start listening to the album? We start with the first track. I'll slowly reveal the track list as we listen to the pieces. Here on the left, next to the album cover. I hope everything works out the way I want it to. And yeah, and then I'm happy to hear your feedback, what you think, and hope you enjoy listening to it over the next few days. I think it's the most listenable album so far. Especially the second one, Away, was very specific, very unique in its... Like, it's not an album I myself even could hear, like, all the time. But, like, the third one has more, like, easy listening pieces on it, I think. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Alright. So, thanks for listening to my blah, blah, blah. So much for that at the moment. Let me quickly do one thing, because I did not update the goal here, so let's just ignore it for now. And I also didn't yet, even though this is the first stream of January, we still have the Peanuts shoutouts from last month. We'll continue today as kind of part of 2024, since originally this stream was supposed to start on the 29th, right? So let's give you guys one more day to collect some peanuts, and then 3 people with the most peanuts at the end of this stream will get their specific unique shout out every time they join us in the month of January. Thanks so much for spending your time with us. Thanks for being here last year, and here's to this year together. And Mom, have a wonderful evening. Thanks for saying hi. All right, let's get that a bit smaller up here. All right. Hey, welcome in, Zasha. We were just talking about you. I was just talking about how the album came together. Thank you again so much. Guys, let's hear it in chat for Mrs. Sias, who's one of the 4 people. I'm always thinking I forget someone because I thought it was 5, but it was 4, I think. For these pieces. Yeah, thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you for making this possible. And no worries, we didn't listen to the first piece yet, so you still got some time. Let's actually move this down, and way down we go, and way down we go, way down we go. Shit, where did I put it? I put it here. No! Oh god, I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at using OBS. How do I put something in between? Not like in the folder, but in between. No, that's not how it seems. There we go. There we go. One more. Can we do this? We can do this. Nice. Perfect. We have never done this, but like song, but no. Down we go. Let's try the song. It was in my head. There must be a reason for it. As you say, Fishlicious. No coincidences. Happy New Year to you as well, Sasha.
Is or will there be a vinyl version? Fishlicious, very good question. I would love for vinyls to exist at some point. For now, I'm not selling any physical copies of the album, mostly because it's also, in Germany at least, it's a bit of a difference tax-wise. So we'll postpone that. At some point, there might be some, but in that case, it will be something like you could say like a donation goal or a Kickstarter campaign or something. Like I would have to make sure that doing a few pressings is worth it, right? Because just pressing 1 or 2 vinyls is kind of crazy. Some people did that. Some people were crazy enough to do that to my last album. So there's one vinyl of the way, thanks to the community. But yeah, I think I would have to press like 50 at least, probably, so it's worth it, and the single vinyls wouldn't be too expensive, because I wouldn't want to sell my album for like 60 euros, you know what I mean? But yeah, would you be a person that's interested in that in general?
Oh, Father, tell me we get what we desire. We wear what we desire. And way down we go. And way down we go. So way down we go. And way down we go. I let your feet.
Oh god, that goes high. Jesus Christ, that guy has a range.
I let your feet run wild. Time has come as we all go down. Yeah, before the fall, do you dare to look him right in the eyes? 'Cause they will run you down to the darkness. How they will run you down till you fall. And they will run you down till you crawl. Yeah, so you can't crawl no more. And yeah, down we go. And way down we go. Say way down we go. 'Cause they will run you down to your core. Way down we go. Say way down we go. And way down we go. Way down we go. Way down we go.
Well, that was the first. That was Kalia with Way Down We Go. Thank you so much, Tarka, for being so kind as to add this one to the queue. Alright, Thank you so much for the claps, Faratek. Let's do one last thing, one last piece. Then we'll have a short break because in about 7 minutes, 7.5, and I'm sorry about that. That sometimes happens lately. I'm still not sure why that is. I think I might have to change the cable. Sorry about that. Usually it goes away after a while. I don't know yet what triggers it, but I think it's the cable. I think it is the cable ever since last time we had the blackout. Last time the energy went out. That's the problem. That's the problem. Was it for the song list? Yeah, we could add that one to the song list, Tucker. Thank you. And I'm terribly sorry for the quality. Let me double check real quick. Maybe I can fix it somehow, at least slightly. We just bought this one because the last one was broken. Ugh. Kind of annoying. That's kind of annoying. Ah, never mind. It's all good. It's all good. Ah, okay. Thanks so much, Leonard, for trying to help. Thanks everyone else as well. It was, after all, well, it was the cable. I think I changed the cable now. Should be fine for now. We're getting a new one, just in case. Anyways, not that expensive. I was mostly, for a second, really afraid that my preamp died due to the blackout. When all of the electricity was all of a sudden gone. That can't be good for like tech stuff, right? But we good. I can say we are good, and it was just the phantom power. The phantom power was turned off. All the things you have to think of to make all this work. Sometimes. All right, at least you didn't miss anything during the ad break that I think happened. Oh no, it is still happening. All right, but we're good again. And in 2 minutes, we're going to listen to the first track. In the meantime, Leonard, thank you so much. You kind soul. 53 months, still one of the first people to appear here. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Also, I have not forgotten your offer, by the way. I know you're super busy now with having the new studies and everything, but like some way down the line, I would love to work together with you on and recording some stuff on a real piano. But that is like music of the future, as we say in Germany, right? Zukunftsmusik. But still, I appreciate the offer a lot back then, and was also so nice to meet you. So funny, like by now, X as well. There's so many people in chat that I have faces to. That's so nice. Oh, goddamn, right. Goddamn, right. Oh, I thought it was going on like parallel or something. I didn't realize you actually finished your studies. Nice. Or I forgot. That could be as well. In that case, I'm terribly sorry. Sometimes my brain does things. Greetings to you, Lord Brazer. Happy New Year as well to you. Thank you so much for being here. The command is not working any. Okay, let me see. New album is working. Adrift is working without... Oh, okay. Yeah, I know why. I know why, Taka. I forgot that if you put in an alias for a command, which I did for new album because I didn't want to create two commands, I didn't know you also have to put an exclamation mark in front. So let me do that, and then new music and Adrift should also work. Alright, now it should work, and it should not be triggered when someone just writes the name in chat. Alright, so enough of the improvising. Let's start with the main event, shall we? Whew, exciting. This is the first time I listened to the whole album myself in all peace and quiet in one go, actually. I listened to the pieces many and many a time over the last few days, weeks. When mastering the files, when checking them for mistakes, etc. And here we are now. with this first track. Let me pull it up. And 1 second. There we have it. There we go. There we go. Then I need to pull up one more thing real quick. And then it's time for the listening party. Nope, I didn't want to. Let me go to my dashboard. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. So we start with our first track of our album. I listened to some pieces hours in the last week. Sorry to find a fucking name. You did well, Sasha. You did well. I just said before you came that in the end, even though everyone was just deciding on names for themselves, 4 people in total, including me for 2 pieces, in the end, the whole album kind of builds a story. You'll see about that. I think it's beautiful. And Faratek, no worries. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for your kind words and your excitement earlier. I really appreciated that. Was very happy to see someone was excited about the album. And yeah, I mean, you already got it. So I hope you enjoy it when you listen in all peace and quiet. And if you have any thoughts on it, if you have some feedback you would like to forward, please feel free to. I'd love to hear what you think. All right, so our first piece. Where's that now? Here's the track list. This should work as I intended to. Yes. So our first piece on this album is called Discovery. This piece that we'll listen to now together was originally sent to Mr. Size, so very fitting that he's in chat right now. So it is dedicated to him. He came up with the title as well, and I thought it was a beautiful way to start this album. Now, one last thing, maybe kind of like let's do that later. A bit later down the line, maybe in 2 or 3 pieces, so we finally listen to something, and I don't get babbling again. I'll tell you like how these were arranged and why they are in the order that they are. But yeah, in the end, Discovery was placed first by kind of accident, not by title, and it still kind of fits well, I think. Because a lot of things start with you discovering something, right? And then taking action because of that. So I hope you enjoy this one. I'll mute myself in the meantime and hope that everything works out with the audio, etc. Please let me know if there's any issues. So that was the entrance into that album. This album, a piece called or titled "Discovery" by Mr. Size. As Auroria asked and Sasha said, it's okay for me to share. Let me pick up the notes you sent. So the first piece here is called Discovery. It was sent to Mr. Size in January this last year, not this year. Well, we have 2025 now. So it was sent to Mr. Size in January 2024, and he said, or kind of like a namer's or titler's notes, you could say. He said that the repetitive notes going throughout this piece, and this is not the only piece that has this actually on this album. It's kind of like a thing that it seems I enjoyed doing that time. That it's kind of like something that is taking you by the hand and like taking you on a journey of discovery, right? And I do agree, like the more I listen to it with that in mind and with this title in mind, the more it sounds like a little bit of a very timid, you know, start to an album. It's a little bit more quiet. But yeah, so is a discovery. Again, like, I like the idea that a discovery starts to like make you go on a journey, you know, like you discover something or you go on a journey to discover something, right? Both can be the case. So yeah, that's probably what went through that. For any other notes, we have Mr. Size in chat, so he can answer any questions, I think, directly, even though he tried to evade this one. And yeah, from this title on out, we like the thing is, we were thinking about how do we start, you know, like you start with having like, thanks for the claps, by the way, Lobrezor, thanks Thizzle, thanks Sasha. There's like 13 titles in a row in front of you in my DAW in the program, and I it's difficult to start, right? Like you can't spend like 40 minutes listening to all of the tracks again and decide which one goes first, because then you again start to think like what could go next. And my partner actually came up with this beautiful idea of just looking at the wave images, basically, of the tracks, like the wave. How do you say the wave? The wave lines, and of the audio profile, and then we just sorted them by that. So the whole album was basically arranged in the way the titles are arranged. Wholly, completely visually, which has nothing to do with, I mean, it somehow has to do with the music in the tracks, because we try to make it start a little bit slower and a little bit quieter, and then slowly build on that until it ends with, you know, a little bit of a forward look. The waveform. Thank you so much, Stockfish. Yeah, exactly what I was looking for, that word. So yeah, it was purely arranged by waveform. And it's not really the BPM. It's the BPM would be the speed of the piece, but we went basically by how much is happening in that piece, you could say. Like, is the waveform a little bit like this, or is it like this? Like, is it a more dynamic piece or not? Is it a loud piece or not? And then we just arranged them, so basically the whole waveform of the whole album also kind of tells a story, you know? Like this classic thing of like first rising and then crashing down at the end a bit. And then we listened to it and it fit perfectly. I think we moved one track or two. And the rest just fit. And the beautiful thing is that with the titles, it also fits. And I thought that was also such a cool moment, because so many things, like the visual aspect, the actual, how it sounded to the people who titled the tracks, and then me like improvising them somehow coming out of me. There's so many things that like work together to make the album the way it is. And it still feels coherent, and that's what I like. That's what I like about it. Not that I planned this before, mind you. You know, it all sounds very thought through, but in the end it just happened that way, and then it fit. Now I like it. But it has been the same with the last 2 albums, actually. For example, with the first album with Apart, I chose the image with the 2 trees, and then first I chose that because I just liked it, and then I noticed, oh, the trees are standing apart from each other. Perfect. It's like I made that picture just for that title. It's all random. It's all fake it till you make it, you know? But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to the second track. So we make a little bit of time. And you guys were never adrift. Is this how won't we use this word? I mean, that's what I mean with this title, you know? Like, for me, being adrift means kind of letting go as well. Kind of like this, not knowing where you go, but still being okay with where you go. You know what I mean? Like, choosing to be adrift. You can also choose to be adrift. Sometimes you're adrift without choosing, but sometimes you do. And I think we all have, right? I think that's a huge part of everyone's life. Some people more, some people less, of course. But yeah, what comes after a discovery? What comes after you found something out or you want to discover something? Exactly. You take a few careful steps. This piece, let me go through here. Oopala. Pull everything up already. This is one of the pieces that, wait. No, this was also for Sasha. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused with all the pieces. So, Careful Steps was another piece that was originally sent to Sasha a month before Discovery, actually, in December 2023. And I hope you enjoyed this one as well. And yeah, Aurora, by the way, question, I can give that question back. Do you feel you've been ever adrift? All right, here we go. Hope you enjoy, guys. This is Careful Steps. Alright, that was our second piece of the album Adrift, Careful Steps. Yep. Alright. Hot Blue, thank you so much. Says wonderful music. I appreciate that. I can sense that some effect of old style tape crinkles and pops. Yes, exactly. So the VST plugin that I chose this time for this album, and I have changed the VST plugin that I use to record my albums. I changed that every single album, depending on the mood of the album as well. And this album was not as contemplative and melancholic, I would say, as, for example, the second one. But it still was kind of like more chill, I think. Just a bit more calm in a few ways and not so calm in others. Yeah, and this this specific plugin is not the one I use right now. For example, this here. This is a bit more clearer. The one I used is the VST plugin for from Keyscape, titled Classical. So it's a bit more towards like old recordings of classical piano, I would say. Hence, a little bit of the crackling, maybe. And yeah, that's basically in there to kind of like make the recording not even like better, but more authentic. And I feel like that was more important to me in that moment than it sounding like perfect on every single speaker. Yeah, I still think that for me personally that was the best choice artistically. But we'll also move on to other sounds basically and plugins later on. Yeah, but I'm glad you like it. And Sasha, you can pre-save it now on Spotify. It will probably arrive there in the next few days, I was told. All right. I have to move the track list a bit because it's not under the drift thing as I wanted it to be. Here we go. So let's move on to the third piece. Thanks for the hydrate. Cheerio. This one is called Star Flying. Thank you so much, Stallion Man. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, the third piece is called Star Flying. And I like, together with the first two pieces, how it tells kind of the story of discovering something, taking careful steps, and then at some point, you know, kind of taking off. Start Flying is the third piece in a row on this album. It just happened to be so. That was also dedicated to Sasha and sent to Sasha. Start Flying was sent to Sasha in November 23. So 1 month before that even. We're going basically 1 month back in time, each piece. And as a titler's note, he says to this piece, I'm just assuming it's okay to share this, Sasha, since you said so earlier, that especially the second part of this piece reminds him of this feeling of flying and the excitement for you know, being in the air. He was originally not super happy with the title himself, but I think it fits perfectly. Here we go. This is our third piece on Adrift. concludes our third piece, Start Flying. It ends a little bit on a more upward note, I think. And there's a little bit more dynamics than in the first two pieces. So I like that. At some point, you know, you start flying. At some point, you there's a little bit of development musically, and that just fit perfectly. Thank you so much for all the kind claps in chat, and thanks for listening, Sasha. Oh, Mr. Size, both Sashas, Stallion Man, Lord Brazer, Auroria, Hot Blue. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the album so far. And I think we'll just, you know, move on from here. If you have any questions regarding the pieces, regarding what I say to the pieces before we listen to them, let me know. But otherwise, we're not making any headways here. You know how I am. So, we finally come to the first piece that was not written or sent to Sasha when it first appeared. Sorry, Mr. Size. I have to do this again so you guys know who I'm talking about. This one was sent to Frankie. Frankie Simon. This one was sent to him in November 2023. Funny enough, the same month that I recorded the piece you just heard. So both of these pieces were probably recorded around the same time, maybe one day in between, maximum, maybe on the same day. One was sent to Sasha, this one was sent to Frankie. First piece there, and he chose the title Past the Church. Now, Frankie didn't give me many, you know, behind the scenes infos to his thoughts on these titles. But I especially like this one because you can read it in a few different ways, and it is a very kind of not random, but it's a title that, for me, it can invoke like this idea of like seeing past something, right? Seeing past the church, or moving metaphorically past the church as an institution. But you can also see it as past the church as in like next or behind, or you know, like after it, like the building itself, right? If you pass it and then you are past the church. Which kind of is like a very kind of random image that still has like some kind of depth to it for me, in a way. I don't know. I like these kind of like random moments someone captures, right? And someone just like passing a church, that alone is already like one of these kind of little images you see in everyday life. So yeah, I like the kind of like two-way thing that this title went. I couldn't tell you which idea Frankie had with this in mind, or if he had something completely else in mind. But that's the thing, you know, like everyone thinks about different things with words and with the music itself. So this is what it was. Thank you so much, Lord Brazo, for the lyric. You appreciate it here. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the next few tracks you hear in the background. So let's get into the next one right away. This is Past the Church, folks. Oh, maybe one thing I can add to this piece is that Past the Church was actually, just musically, one of my favorites, I think, from this selection of songs. It's not like special or technically virtuous or anything, but for some reason, I think it came from, also for me, it came from kind of a peaceful place, you know? So yeah. was our fourth piece on the new album that just released a few hours ago, Adrift. This piece was called Past the Church, and it was dedicated to Frankie, without whose help we wouldn't have this piece today, and we wouldn't have this title today. Kelly, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm happy to hear that you found this piece peaceful. Because yeah, again, for me, it's the same idea with this piece. Like, I listened to it, and again, it's one of my favorites from this album, even though it's not like flashy, you know. And someone pointed out as well that it's very reminiscent in the beginning, or kind of inspired by Bach, actually, by the chorales of Bach. And it kind of fits because I was listening back then to a lot of Bach again and played a lot of Bach again back then. So yeah, it just proves that you're always inspired kind of and influenced by what you're consuming as well, right? Thank you, Sasha, for the claps. Thank you, Stallyman, as well. I appreciate it. Let's move on to the next piece. So, after now, starting our journey, discovering something, you know, and then, yeah, whatever Past the Church means to you, personally, in this context, we're now getting to the fifth piece. And the fifth piece is called Getting Lost. Now, take a wild guess who that one was written for. This piece, again, was sent to Sasha, to Mr. Size, originally in September 2023. So we're even going back 2 months now. We're back in September 2023 when this was recorded and improvised. And his titler's notes to this piece say that he chose this title because it sounds a bit like someone is kind of getting lost, as in lost places, or getting lost while wandering through the woods. And yeah, let's listen to it. Let's get right into it. We still have a few pieces ahead of us, so we're definitely going past 8 probably. But yeah, well, it's still a nice way to spend the evening, right, folks? And I'm very happy to share this with you today. So thanks for listening. Thanks for taking the time. If you are just joining and you missed some of the pieces, no worries. It is live on BANDCAMP already, where you can listen to it, or also support me a little bit and get the audio files. You can put them on your phone. You can put them on anywhere you want, if you're still one of these people like me who use an MP3 player. And it will be available soon. There's a link to pre-save it on Spotify already if you use the command in chat. If you'd like to do that, helps out a bunch, and you'll get notified once it goes live on that platform, which will be probably in a few days. Now, let's listen to Getting Lost. And this concludes our 5th track on Adrift, Getting Lost. This one being also titled and dedicated to, or titled by and dedicated to Mr. Size. We're finally making a bit headway. We're not even halfway through though. Our last album was quite the short thing. It was rather an EP, you could say, with I think a runtime of less than half an hour. This one though is a bit longer again. I think we're running this one at 49 minutes, something like that, just under an hour. This next piece, and I'm double checking because sometimes I'm getting lost myself in my thoughts all the time, actually. All the fucking time. This next one was originally sent to Xanep. Xanep's also one of the people who supported us. And Xanep was, however, not super crazy about titling the tracks, saying about themselves that they're not really super creative, or they didn't have that much interest in titling the tracks. So they gave those two back to me, and I was able to thus title 2 tracks myself, Winter Sun being one of them. This track was sent to Xanep in, don't let me lie, let me check. This one was sent to them in September 2023, I think so. Same month, actually. Or in May 2024. I don't remember, actually, which one it was. They had 2 tracks that were sent to them on this album. So it's either September, we're still in 2023, or we're going into the middle of 2024 here. Yeah, Winter Sun, what to say to this track? I'm very bad at titling my tracks myself. Most of the time it's just a random idea or like a hunch that I follow. And Winter Sun is one of those. For some reason I was just thinking about a cold day, but at the same time like this kind of sun that's not really getting you warm, but it still feels good, you know? Like you're still standing in the winter sun and you're thinking like, oh, finally. But at the same time it's not as warm and you're kind of longing for the warmer, sunnier days again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one as well. And again, if you have any questions, it makes one happy but not warm. You could say that. Such a, yeah. Perfect description, yeah. Exactly. All right, oh God, so many windows open here. Here it is. This is Winter Sun, folks. Winter Sun, track number 6 on our just released album Adrift. Dwindot, hey, welcome in chat. Happy New Year to you. How have you been? I hope you're doing well. I'm glad you like it. Mr. Size, thanks so much for the claps, as of course, the whole time. It's been great so far. I would be terrible if not, but good to hear. I hope it continues as great as it started for you. And I also hope you will enjoy our next piece. Same as the other ones. We are now crossing halfway through the album. This one is another piece. Who would have thought? Sent to Sasha, if I'm not mistaken. I think most pieces that you said, like that we chose from your things, just happened right at the start of the album, and then it's just the rest of the stuff. But they fit so well together. No, wait, this one is not by Sasha. Okay, I'm taking it back. This one was not titled by Mr. Size. This one was titled again by Frankie. I'm sorry. Frankie being a streamer here on Twitch as well. He's a pianist himself, so I'm especially happy that he chose to support me here in creating this album throughout the last year. And that he was happy with the pieces I chose and found titles quite quickly, actually. So happy to see you have a new album. Thank you so much. Sounds great. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoy the rest of it as well. If you'd like to pre-save it on Spotify, it's not live yet there, but it is live on BANDCAMP. You can find the link with !Adrift or !new album. Yes, the next one's not for me. I'm sorry, I get confused. I got confused a lot these days. There's a lot going on, all right? We're doing this our way, and we're doing it, but we're doing it our way. So again, with this piece, I don't really have any titles notes from the person who decided this track, or on the title of this track. But yeah, make of it what you want. Let me maybe know what it is you're thinking of while listening to this piece. Thanks for still being here. This is track number 7, Innocence. We were just a few seconds too late to finish this before the ad break started. I'm sorry for the people who weren't able to listen to the last few seconds, but it wasn't much, I promise. But let's wait until those folks come back in 2 minutes so everyone else can join without any pre-roll ads. Thanks for understanding. Thanks for going through this. Yeah, we'll continue with the music in 2 minutes or so once the ads are over. Samuel, welcome in. A late stream. I could finally catch a stream of yours after months. Samuel, it is so good to see you. And you know what? You were also always hanging out at Frankie's, right? If I remember correctly. And Frankie actually has a prominent role today because some of the pieces you hear right now were kind of sponsored, you could say, by his support through Ko-fi over the last months, creating or making it possible to create this album. So good to see you. Happy New Year. And good news for you. Starting in January now, we'll be streaming late all the time. I'll be going live at 2 p.m. From here on out, and probably stream in the evening occasionally. So we go at least until 6 p.m. these days, so 2 hours before now, or 7 or 8 like now if I have more time and energy. So I hope there'll be more moments where you can join us again. It would be great. And thank you so much for the congratulations. I appreciate that. Yeah, let me know how have you been? How have you been? My work has been so intense lately, so I can't catch daytime streams like before. I know, like a lot of people have it like that. You know, like the first big wave of people disappearing from several chats, not just mine, was after COVID, right? A lot of people, since I stream in the morning, even in Germany, a lot of people who have been joining during home office before, all of a sudden were gone. So, you know, I learned pretty early that oftentimes, you know, it can be these things. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that work is a bit stressful. I hope you're getting through. I hope it'll get a bit better this year. But yeah, happy to have you again. And yeah, I'm doing well myself. Thanks for asking. Well, now with the album release finally, and in November we also went full time. I don't know if you caught that on Discord or something. So I'm now here to stay. Started in November, quit my job. Now I have the next 40, or I had the next 40 months, now 12 months. So until December 2025 to kind of build on all this and hopefully make a living with streaming, with my music off stream as well. The stuff I produce, the stuff I compose, etc. So yeah, it's an exciting time. I'm looking forward to where it goes, and if you can be part of this journey again, I'd be happy to see that happen. And thank you so much for also choosing to sub again. 30 months in total. Holy crap. And Batty, thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you. Good to see you again. Thanks for lurking. No matter the time, Buddy's here and lurks. I thought your plan was to be done with the album until 8 p.m. Sasha, stop putting salt in my wounds, you know? Like, you know how it is. You know it's always like that. If I plan something like this, it never works out. Never does. Has it ever? Has it ever once worked out? Ho, what the hell, Samuel? Samuel, and Valorant as well. Did you guys do that at the same time, immediately, one after the other? Holy crap, Samuel, you kind soul, thank you so much for the 10 gift subs to the community. Especially, you know, with what I told you just now. It helps a lot right now. It helps a lot. Every little bit makes it just slightly more possible, you know. I'll still be here in a year, so thank you so much. And don't worry, make up for the times you've been absent. No worries. We appreciate every single time you have been not absent, you know. See it this way. But still, I appreciate the support. Thanks for the notion. And Valorant, thank you for also gifting 2 subs to the community, wherever that came from. But I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, wait. Oh, there's still the action where Valorant adds 1 sub per 5 gifted. Oh, that's why. Okay, so this is an automated thing. I see. I did not know that. In that case, still thanks. You know? I don't care if it's automated. Still thankful. Still thankful for every bit. All right, I think all the people enduring the ad break, welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for enduring that. Again, it helps make the stream more accessible for anyone else joining who's not yet following or subscribed. Let's go right to the next track, shall we? Now that we've finished Innocence, we'll go to track number 8. Track number 8 was another one that was titled by me, so I'm assuming this one was sent to Sanep. It's funny how I still have to see this after checking time and time again the last few months. But yes, this one was also sponsored by Sanep. Let me quickly reload the overlay here so we don't get the sound all the time. Here we go. Yeah, this one was sent to Sanep in, I think this one was May 2024. So before we were at September 2023, now going forward to May of last year. Yeah, titleless notes on why I called this Wind Over Water. I don't know, actually. After naming it, I was like, it sounds like smoke on the water, but like different. But it has nothing to do with it. I guess I just, again, like the idea of naming it something specific, you know, not just like it's windy or the waterfall or, you know, something simple like that. Those simple tracks or those simple names can be beautiful at times. But like me personally, I kind of enjoy finding these random moments or these random images and putting those as titles. So I chose Wind Over Water because I kind of like the idea of like the wind just rippling, you know, the surface, and you don't really see the wind, but you see what the wind does, and because of that, you know, it's there. And you know, I could go deep now again and be like, oh, and isn't it like that in life sometimes as well? That sometimes there's things you can't see, things you have to feel, things where, you know, you have to see what effect they have on you. But they're still as important. It doesn't mean they're not there. But, you know, nothing of that actually went into naming this song. But maybe it's a nice thought that gives you an anchor on what you imagine while listening to this. So I hope you enjoy this one. This is called Wind Over Water. This one was called Wind Over Water. Thank you so much for the claps, Mr. Size. Glad you enjoyed it. Thanks, Axe, for the claps. That rhymes. Thanks, Axe, for the claps. Appreciate it. Glad you're still around. All right, we're now coming to another one of my personal favorites on this album, if I'm not mistaken. Seriously, I've been working a bit too much the last 2 days on this. Analog, hey, long time no see. Thank you for the claps as well. Much appreciated. All right, and without further ado, I think we'll just continue with this one. A little note to where this one comes from, same as the other ones. Where the streams meet. Ooh, where's my mouse? Why is the mouse out? All right, let's use the touch screen. That's why I bought a touch screen, right? All right. So this song was partly titled by me, partly titled by someone else. Also, partly, titled by. So the general idea of the track and of the title for the track came from the anonymous kind soul who also had their part in creating this album. They wanted to remain nameless for this, but nonetheless, they came up with the idea of this song sounding like streams, like rivers, and and that's because why I went with the title "Where the Streams Meet." Going to bed a bit earlier these days, so I don't get to catch you on often. No worries, Analog. We're switching up our streaming times a little bit, so you might be able to join more often again from here on out throughout January. We're streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday now, and start at 2 p.m. CAT, and probably stream until 6 to 8 p.m. depending on how much energy I have on that particular day. So yeah, we might be on at this time around more often because it allows me also, for one, to raid a few people I couldn't, and also I wanted to get back into Go streams. So maybe in the evening, for example, we can kind of go into the evening, and if it gets too late, for example, we just switch over and play a party or a game of Go. We'll see about that later. But yeah, that kind of stream, not the kind of stream that we have in the living room. But then again, you know, that's what I mean with these titles. Make them whatever you want them to. If there's also a connection to like streaming and these streams, perfect. Why not? Yeah, again, I think this one is one of my favorites on this album. So I particularly hope you like this one as much as I do. Oh yeah, and by the way, for those who are interested in when this was created, I can tell you that as well. This one was created in January 2024. And yeah, you'll probably like this one as well, Mr. Size, because there's the recurring note again. Welcome in, Doodles. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy to have you, and glad you got one of the gift subs from Samuel earlier today. All right, Stelly Man, you enjoy that movie of yours. Enjoy the rest of your evening with fam, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest sometime as well. If you do, please let me know what you thought. Perfect, Analog. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Here we go. This was piece number, or track number 9 on our current or our latest album. This was Where the Streams Meet. Thank you so much for the claps yet again, Mr. Size, Aurora Analog. Much appreciated. I'm glad you enjoy the album so far, and we only have 3 tracks left, making it 13 in total. We are... Oh, they're going out again at the top. I don't care. We're professionals here. We don't care. All right, number 10. Number 10. It did a little change, a slight change in titling. Originally, this one was called The Way of the Clown. It was titled by, well, Mr. Size, this one was one of yours again. And I took the liberty, small liberty, to switch it up slightly into The Way of the Fool. Fool being, well, these days mostly someone foolish, right? But in the traditional sense, also the jester, at court. A fool for a king. And I kind of like that kind of double meaning, since one is very similar to a clown. And the other one, it kind of had like another layer. And I like the thing, the how do you say? The sound of it. There we go. I hope you're fine with that, Sasha. It was a very last minute change, actually. It came to me while I was typing the tracks when uploading them. If you connect a lot to The Way of the Clown, though, and you feel it's too different, let me know. It's still changeable. However, this is a title that is a bit different than the rest, I feel like. And that's something I noticed with the selection of songs for this album in general, that throughout the last year, I did not only record more and play more because, I had to for those people supporting me with this tier, but I was also kind of forced to try out more things, because a lot of times when I record so much every month, normally I wait a year and then I record again. So when I record, the album is kind of a short snippet in time from how I improvise at that particular moment in time. And I find it particularly interesting with this album that the titles were recorded over the span of a whole year. So you can see much more changes in how I play and what I play in this one album. Yeah, a nice little fact, I think. And The Way of the Fool, I think, is one of the ones who are most different from what I usually improvise. And I feel like thanks to that, I also grew improvising. Same as I grew playing music for you guys online, and having an audience and getting feedback, etc. So yeah, I just realized, it's the picture of the cover upside down. Yes, it is, Samuel. There's no specific explanation. I just thought with the title of Being Adrift, it adds to this confused idea of like being adrift, not knowing how and where you are, drifting around. Also, though, our first album was upside down just because I liked it. And the second album was not upside down. So in total, and the second was a little bit darker, and the first and the last one and this one are a bit lighter in tone. So I just thought they made a nice complete picture, if I turn this one upside down as well. That's why. Same with everything else. It was a purely instinctive idea to use this image and to put it upside down. I just liked it visually. But the more I look at it, the more you can like interpret into it and kind of like, oh, it's nice. There's still some kind of connection if you think about it. Yeah. So let's do this one. Sometimes even life goes upside down. Very right. Very true, Samuel. Very true. And sometimes it's upside down, then it seems to be normal again, and then it goes upside down again. You never know. You never know. So hell, why not? And it's a little bit of chaos, I have the freedom to design these covers myself, so I'm having a lot of fun with it as well. There were a lot of drafts for this as well, and some of these drafts might pop up again with future albums, particularly one where I already know what I want to do with it. So yeah, that's going to be probably down the line in half a year. So anyways, for now, Let's listen to The Way of the Fool. So, that was indeed a short waltz called The Way of the Fool. This one was sent to Mr. Size. So he's the honorary titler, or the one who came up with the title. Well, this one was slightly adjusted afterwards, but yeah. Let me check. This one was sent to Mr. Size in July 2024. It is the newest piece. And that's exactly what I meant earlier, right? When I said the more I improvised over the months, starting in like August 2023, I think, with the first person supporting me with this tier. And then this was July. So there was a lot I did until then. Probably played around 30 pieces, recorded around 30 pieces until then. And then I needed like new ideas, right? So this is where we've been at. Hey, so good to see you. Lord Earl Grey. I salute you with my cup of tea. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you listening. And I'm so glad you enjoy the pieces so far. I hope you've been well, and I hope you arrived in 2025 in one piece, same as all of us. This reminded me of Mew Misconception. I don't know the track, but I will give it a listen, Samuel. If you're still on the Discord, feel free to share it, by the way. Chat works for me. Nice, Yanni. Welcome back. Thanks for being here again. Or coming out of the lurk, whatever it was. Fighting off a chest infection, but I'm still kicking. Oh man, that sucks. That sucks. Also thought about, like, it sounds like I actively thought about it, like, how about getting sick tomorrow? That's not what I did. But yeah, I thought I was getting sick yesterday as well. Today is kind of okay. This morning was We'll see about it. We'll see about it. But, you know, fingers crossed, get better soon. Right. So July 2024, The Way of the Fool was recorded, and this one, the title's notes from Sasha, why he chose that title, were that he is reminded of a clown or someone fooling around. That's why I changed it to fool in the end. And also someone fooling around, then falling, but still getting back up again. And that's also something I liked because, you know, people who take life not too seriously, like maybe a fool, and are, you know, named a fool by others, might still get more out of life, you know, in a way. As in, they might, you know, try out a lot of things. They might do a lot of stupid stuff. They might fall down occasionally because of that, because they stumble up over their own feet. But in the end, they still stand up and they still, you know, get something out of it. So, yeah, I would say that's more or less what came, or what was at least involved in the process of titling this piece. Again, never in playing it, but always in titling. Those are two different things, right? Because when I played these pieces, I'll be honest with you, when I improvised any of these pieces, there wasn't anything specific in my mind at that time. It was just a moment in time of me and what I felt at that moment, I guess. And you know, you never can disconnect from what you create in the end. But there wasn't anything specific I wanted to transpose or I wanted to transport or anything. It was just, you know, happening, you could say. Chris, your kind soul, welcome back in month number 3. Been here for quite a while now. Crazy how time flies. Thank you so much for continued support. Happy New Year's to you as well. All right, we do continue. The Way of the Fool was our last piece. Now we continue with what's next. We're continuing with title number 11. This one was a piece created for Frankie. Was supported by Frankie for this. Again, Frankie got this one in October 2023, so we're going back again. It was one of the earlier pieces I sent out. Again, from Frankie, there's no specific notes as to why he chose this title, but I think it stands for its own. Again, I like that Frankie and me have a similar way of naming pieces, I think, because it seems like something very... It's like this moment in time, just this simple idea, this simple image of someone, of having a table set for one person. And that's all, you know, and everything else that you might connect to the piece, to this image, if you think it's great that this person is doing something nice for themselves and having a dinner alone, you know, or if it's a sad picture, all that comes with your interpretation after, right? So here is Past the Church. Past the Church, Table for One. And before I go there, you mentioned a pack of all 3 albums. Can you tell me where, please? Yes, Yanni. Just keep in mind, those are digital still, right? No CDs or vinyls. But you can find them on BANDCAMP. The link should be in the link that you get with Adrift. So if we type in Adrift here, if you use that link, there should be one link that leads to the pre-save on Spotify, and the other link go into my BANDCAMP. And on that BANDCAMP, usually if you choose one of my albums, it should tell you also, oh, hey, by the way, you can get this as part of this bundle. So that's how I got there last time. I hope that helps. And thank you so much for considering, or your interest in that bundle. So yeah, to those of you who are a bit later, the only place the album is available on now at the moment, until it will be released on other platforms in a few days, is BANDCAMP. And at the moment you can get a bundle with all my 3 albums, the whole trilogy of 8 albums, Apart, Away and Adrift, for a mere $12. Supporting me in my journey as well a bit. Thank you so much for considering it. All right, and with that, we get into our next track. Thanks for still being here. Thanks for still listening. For those of you who do, this is Table for One. So this was Table for One, which was named by Frankie. The shortest, I think one of the, if not the shortest piece on the album with 2 minutes. And again, a 3/4. Again, I don't know what happened this year, but it seems I started to like 3/4. Maybe it was finally something different, you know, from how I improvised before. And I'm very glad you like it so much, Auroria. Thank you. Doodles, same to you. Analog, thanks for the claps and the love and chat, Mr. Size. Appreciate it. We're making headway. We're already 35 minutes over, so I guess this becomes a stream until 9 instead of 8. But let's make some move. We have 2 pieces left, and the first one of those is called Into the Sunset. Into the Sunset was, as far as I know, don't let me lie again. Was this one of you or yours again, Sasha? I think so, right? No, it wasn't. Which one was that one? What was that? No, it wasn't. Was that the one that we added extra? Wait. Oh no, I think this one was for the... Yes, this one was for our anonymous kind soul again. We have 2 pieces for them as well on there. Again, they chose to remain unnamed, but that doesn't make it any nicer of them, any less nice of them. To support my work and to make these 2 pieces possible, among many others that I sent them over the course of a whole year of them supporting me. The title also came from them. They said it reminded them of a sunset, of something, or of the sun setting, yeah. And then, as you know me, since I don't like single word titles, we went for Into the Sunset. Oh, that would be amazing, Auroria. And if you'd like to share them, that would be even crazier. It says, when the album is on Spotify, maybe we'll try to write short stories about what I imagine with these. Again, that would be amazing. That would be super cool. But no pressure. No pressure. It should be there in the next few days. All right. So this is Into the Sunset. Hope you enjoy this one as well. And then we have one left, the big finale. And that was our second to last piece, track number 12 on Adrift into the Sunset. Again, Yanni, thank you so much for getting the whole bundle on BANDCAMP. The support means a lot at the moment. You know that. And it's also so nice to know you want to listen to the other two albums again as well. Thanks, Aurora, Mr. Size Analog, for all the claps and chat. Thanks, Doodles, for still being here. I think it's the first time for you joining us, or at least joining us in chat. So I hope to welcome you back sometime. Yeah, that leaves us with only one piece. After that, the whole track list is released. So, oops, that wasn't good. There we go. So let me quickly move this here so we see the whole track list now. Oh no, I moved the wrong thing again. So difficult. There we go. This is the right one. Oh no, this was the wrong one. This OBS is already terrible to use sometimes, but it's even more terrible. There we go. Even more terrible when you have to use a touchscreen. That doesn't work properly. There we go. This is the whole track list. You can't read everything perfectly, I do know. But so you saw all the tracks. We're now getting to the last track, which is where I'm also saying thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks for listening to the album with us. Thanks for all the kind feedback in chat. And of course to the people who already decided to get the album on BANDCAMP and support me that way. Yeah, When We Dream is a song that, as Mr. Sai said in chat, was sent to him. To get this one complete, let's see when I sent it. This one was sent in August 2023. So the last piece is actually the one that was recorded the earliest out of all the pieces on here. And it's also Sasha's favorite, so perfect. See, that's what I mean. It all aligns perfectly. Yeah, here I went for the title When We Dream. Again, I just like these simple sentences instead of like one single word. So we went from dreams to When We Dream. Oh, Taka, god fucking damn it, right. I said I would do that, right? Oh, god damn it. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Why? No worries. Thanks for reminding me now. I forgot. I'm so sorry. Right. I wanted to put this in a week earlier for the supporters. I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. I hope you can forgive me. And I hope you're still happy with the titles and the tracks as they are now. Oh well. Oh well. Shit happens. Let's put that over here. All right. And yeah, When We Dream, August 2023. Pretty much no explanation needed to the title. Mr. Sai said to me, it just reminds him of a dream journey or a journey while dreaming. And the beautiful thing is the whole album kind of is about a journey, right? If I look at it. Again, we didn't plan this. I didn't plan this. Nobody planned this. The titles were chosen. The pieces were played without any name in mind. They were just titled by the month they were sent to the people. So, like, When We Dream originally was just titled 2024 August, Mr. Size. So I just played something. The people who received those pieces thought about titles, about what these pieces made them think of. These happened. We arranged the order of titles by the visuals of the waveform of the corresponding track. So When We Dream is actually one of the most dynamic ones, ending with a bang and on a positive note as well. And again, I like the way the titles kind of tell a story now. Like you have the discovery or something you want to discover, or you discover something about yourself, for example. Then you take some careful steps into a direction you choose. It kind of works. You start flying, you know. You kind of take off with that, whatever you're doing. Well, Past the Church is kind of like off, but I kind of like this title as a going past something you just believed because, you know, instead of like making your own thoughts or getting to your own conclusions, you could say, maybe. Again, I'm putting that together as I go. Then we have the winter sun, right? That moment where something is difficult, something is cold, right? Something is not like nice and warm, but there's still the sun. It is not as warm as it should be, but you know, you're still following that vision, even through the hard times. Then you kind of rediscover your innocence with that. Or, I don't know. Wind over water also, I feel like, is this kind of idea of drifting, right? Of letting go. Same with where the streams meet, because water just finds its way. It doesn't have like a specific direction. It just follows the laws of physics, right? And if its surroundings, and yeah, I don't know. Make your ideas about the last, but I like especially the last two one. The Way of the Fool and Table for One is more difficult to get in there, you know. And then you have Into the Sunset, like this idea of something ending, but in a nice way, you know, like looking into the sunset and you're like just at peace, you know. And after that comes the dream, you know, like you're either going to sleep after the sun sets, or yeah, if you want to see it as the whole idea of a life, you know, you can do that as well, Auroria. You're very right. You're very right. Maybe someone, you know, being birthed, learning how to walk, learning how to run, learning how to ask yourself why you do what, you know, asking yourself, what am I shaped by? And maybe going past that, you know, emancipation in a way. After that, you get lost because you need to find yourself again. The winter sun, I don't know. Maybe the harsh times you have to endure as well. The innocence thing, as in you discover you lost your innocence, or you do lose your innocence at that point in life, whatever it is. Then there's wind over water, the moment where you just float a little bit around in your 20s. The streams meet in your 30s when you finally discover, oh, it all wasn't for nothing. I'm going somewhere. Then you're fooling around a bit, but you don't care. You stand up again. Then there's the moment where you maybe eat alone, but maybe that's also fine, you know? And then you ride into the sunset. I like it, Auroria. I like it. Can also be the whole story of a lifetime. I like this even better than my original description. Now that I think of it. Nice. All right. Without further ado, though, after all this talking and all this teasing, this is our final track on this album. This is called When We Dream. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed all the other pieces, and I hope you continue to enjoy it. I hope it's something you like to come back to and maybe listen to again. I let you know on Instagram, on Discord, on my usual social media outlets where you can find it and when it will be released on which platform. So at least I will do a specific post for the Spotify release, one for the iTunes release, and one for the Amazon release, maybe. Yeah. There's not much else to say except, of course, again, thank you so much for being here, for making this moment possible. You made it possible for me to sit here. You guys made it possible for me to work on my music that much. You literally, the people supporting me with these Ko-fi tiers the last few months, made this specific album possible. So I'm just deeply grateful for all of you and for all of your support. And I hope that you like, you know, what comes out of this in the next few months. I can already give you a hint after this. The next release will be a short EP of probably like 4 to 6 tracks. Another one with 4 tracks also being, so there might be like 2 albums coming out alongside each other or something. One still with piano stuff, with 4 pieces. This one is already done. I just need to master it. So this will probably be released around March. And then there's another one I got a concept for and an idea for, and I already have the album cover, which I probably aim to release around June, July, is like something in the middle of the year. So we kind of have like something new coming to you every 2 or 3 months, while I'm still working in the background and everything else and streaming. I hope, you know, yeah, I hope you enjoy what will be created in the living room for you guys. Thank you so much, and here's When We Dream. And that was the final piece on Adrift When We Dream. Mr. Size, thank you so much for the album. Without you, we wouldn't be here. I mean that quite literally. Auroria, thanks for the claps. Thanks, Yanni. Thanks everyone else who was hanging out today, whether you were active in chat, whether you were lurking. Thanks Analog and Yanni as well. And now it's out. Can't believe we got there. It was a difficult birth. But here it is, Adrift. And I hope, again, it will bring you joy and a little bit of peace of mind. It is, to date, my favorite album, I would say. The other two I like as well for their own reasons. But this one I feel like is the most rounded, most coherent. I feel like this is one that you could listen to every now and then. So yeah. When you take a German saying and use them in English, wait, where did I do that? Where did I do that? Was it difficult birth? I think you can say that in English too, can't you? Do we have any English native speakers in chat? I don't know if Lord Earl Grey is still here, but he's from England, so he knows all about, you know, real English. Proper English. But yeah, I don't know. Like with some of these sayings, proper English. Yeah, you know, you say something about proper English and you just summon a British guy. You know, that's just how you do it. Let us know, my lord. How do you, like, is that a thing you can say in English? That you say, like, something is a difficult birth, as in, you know, it was difficult to do, but in the end it kind of worked out? Or it took a long time to start with something, but then eventually you finished it? Can you say that? Or is that a German thing that I just mistranslated? A complicated birth, you do say. Okay. All right. I'll try to remember that so I blend in better with the natives, you know? Oh, both are fine, actually. Okay, thank you so much, my lord. Go back to lurking. You're excused. People would know what you meant. I think that's the case with a lot of things, right? A lot of times people use a saying in German that I don't know. And, you know, it might be from a different dialect. So where's the difference, you know? It's just by German-English dialect. And if I say it often enough and people actually think that makes sense and use it as well, well, that's how you have a change in language, you know? Maybe we are shaping the English... I mean, we don't, because it actually already exists, as we just learned, but, you know, we could. Probably say it hard not to crack. Oh, my advert started. Perfect timing. Oh no. Oh no. All right, folks. With this, me already being live longer than originally expected, let me play one last piece for you while we raid out to Liz KTV. Oh, thanks, Analog. I appreciate that. I mean, by now it is, you could say it is my second language, as in the times when I stream, especially these days, ever since I went full time. I think if I do stream like 3 days a week, if it's not like the holidays or something, I do speak as much English as I do speak German during a week, an average week. That's why oftentimes when I do stream more often, or right now, I get so used to talking in English that I start thinking in English, you know? It's not like I'm still stuck with German and I don't know how to translate something. It's just like, if I don't know a word, it's just like I don't remember it, same as it could happen in German. But it's very difficult to switch back and forth. So I just know, you know, like I'm finishing the stream now. I'm gonna play some video games probably with some friends on Discord. And the moment I start talking in German again, it's weird for me. And I start missing words in German even. So I totally can relate to people now, like having experienced this in very small, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can understand that when people, even if when they were 20, 25 years old and they emigrate, like from Germany to the US, for example, and they just speak English for years and years and years. I totally understand how after even 10 years, 15 years, even though German is their first language, their German starts to be like weird and they start missing words. You know, this typical thing of like, oh, I know that, but I haven't spoken it in a while. And then they have like weirdly the right knowledge about the language, but at the same time, they don't have the routine anymore. Anyways, right over to Lisk, folks. They're wonderful musicians, a couple from Germany, and I can't often rate them because they usually stream in the evenings. So yeah, I hope you have a great time there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening. I hope you have a great start into 2025. Let's make this an amazing year for all of us. And if it isn't amazing, we can still support each other, so it will at least not be shitty for anyone, you know? Or as shitty as it has to be. So yeah. I think I'm done with what I want to say. I'll just improvise a little bit to guide you out of the stream. I'll be quiet for now already though. So have a wonderful evening. See you again on Friday. In 2 days, we're having our first regular stream at 2 p.m. Let's try 2 p.m. folks. And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some music for you again.